Hey everyone, James Niggemeyer here. Thank you for tuning back into my YouTube channel. On Monday, I uploaded my MLF Big 5 Pro Circuit Stop number 1 Lake Okeechobee tournament recap. And unfortunately, only like a minute's worth of the footage was uploaded. So this video is, what I'm going to try to do is give you the entirety of it, just kind of go over everything that I did in that video that didn't get uploaded. Hopefully this will come through. Been experiencing some technical difficulties, got a new computer and trying to figure out how to work with it after I had a complete system with my old computer. Anyway, this is going to be about the rods, the reels, the lines, the baits, the patterns, and my mindset about the event. For 2021, the MLF rules state that you can only have 2 days of practice. So Monday and Tuesday are the only days of practice that you get to locate and find fish for the tournament. We have a registration day on Wednesday, and then the tournament begins on Thursday. The first day of practice, Monday, was quite difficult for me. Actually, it was very difficult for me to try to find and locate some fish. Day 2, I was able to get on a concentration of fish, and that was the key. Once I left that area, it seemed like it was difficult to get bites, but within that area, bites came more frequently. This is the 5th time that I've competed on Lake Okeechobee, and I have got a pretty good history there, so I'm always confident when I come there. I get to fish the way I like to fish: shallow, power fishing, heavy rods, lines, baits, and the opportunity to really, pull in some big fish on Lake Okeechobee. So my pattern was flipping and pitching reeds or bulrushes, cattails, boogie whips, whatever you want to call it. These reeds like this. Some places of the country, like California where I'm from, we call them toolies. And the rod that I used was a 7'6". It's the Magnum heavy cover Lew's rod with a Lew's Pro TI 7:5 to 1 gear ratio and 50-pound test, braided line. This is the Strike King Tour Grade braided line, 3/4 ounce Strike King Tour Grade tungsten weight, and then also a 5/0 owner jungle flipping hook with a Strike King Rage Bug black blue swirl. I think this is color 808. It's a new color introduced last year, but it's a kind of a muted black blue, no flake in it. It's black and blue swirled together, really good looking color. And that's what I caught the majority of my fish while I was at Lake Okeechobee. I did catch a couple on Bama Bug, and as the event went on, it got harder to get bites. And so I ended up going from just straight braided line to a braid to fluorocarbon leader. I went to a 25-pound test gamma fluorocarbon leader, and I junctioned that with an FG knot, about a 4-foot section. And then I also downsized my weight to a 1/2 ounce. Seemed like initially the fish are a little bit more aggressive, and as competition went on and day after day, it was harder to get bites. And that can typically happen once the pressure really sets in and guys start catching a few fish. The bite usually gets a little bit tougher. And so I went to the fluorocarbon leader, and I went with a 1/2 ounce tungsten weight, and I was able to get a few more bites. Particularly the next day, day 2 on Friday, was tougher for me. And I didn't even know if I was going to make it into the weekend to fish on Saturday. I didn't know if I was going to qualify for the top 50. It was kind of touch and go there for a little bit. But I made some adjustments and was able to cull a couple times and qualify for the top 50 and fish on Saturday. My weights on day 1 were 16.9, and then on day 2 was 10.2, and then day 3 was 10.5. So I went from like 27th to 43, back up to 42nd for the entire event. And basically I was pitching to what we call reed heads. All these reeds come out like from a root section, and then they kind of blow up like this, or they grow out like this. And those root systems are actually like hard bottom. A lot of the Florida lakes, you have a really soft bottom. Bass like to spawn on hard places, whether it's shell or sand or rock or root systems like on lily pad stalks, but also on these reeds or reed heads, and they'll actually spawn on that. And then also you have bass that were spawning, they were post-spawn, they were pre-spawn, fish moving in and out of there, and they would set up on that and ambush bait as it came by, whether it's threadfin shad or gizzard shad or crawfish, bluegill, or shiners like they have in Florida. And so pitching to those individual reed clumps was the plan and pattern, but also every now and again there'd be vegetation that would blow up against these reeds, and I would punch through it with the 3/4 ounce, and sometimes it would be kind of like light punching, penetrating through that canopy of vegetation, and it'd be fish underneath there as well. Weighed a couple like that, or caught a couple like that on an ounce, 1.25 ounces. But the majority of my fish that I weighed over the 2 days, where they came on the 3/4 ounce striking tour gauge tungsten weight. So that's really what happened there at Lake Okeechobee. It was a challenging event because I really thought that I was going to be able to catch them and even maybe move up in the standings, but day 2 really threw me for a loop. Just fishing got tougher. I was fishing in a crowd, and that's typical for Lake Okeechobee. It seems like there's a lot of area with no fish, and the fish are in given areas, and if you're not fishing around other boats, a lot of times you're really probably not catching fish. And I don't go out looking for boats. I go out, we all do as competitors, we'll go out looking for fish, but for whatever reason we generally find ourselves around company, whether it's competitors and or other locals or people that are vacationing there trying to catch fish as well. So that's one of those things, fishing in a crowd, that pressure really mounted up, and the bite got tougher and tougher. But that was my pattern for the week. That was what I did, and it was a great event, great way to start off 2021. Looking forward to the next one. And the sooner that I can get home, the better. I'm hanging out here in Florida for a couple days because that 100-year storm that we have in Texas, my wife said there's 10 inches of snow on the ground. This morning it was -2, so it's like probably 80, 85 degrees. I don't know. It's warm out here. It's nice. It's beautiful here in Florida. Don't get me wrong, I want to be home, and as soon as those roads open up and the interstates safe to travel, I'll be on my way back to Texas. But I'm enjoying some good fishing here while I'm here in Florida. That's it for now, guys. Thank you for tuning into my channel. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Share this video with friends. So maybe you have some friends that are in Florida, maybe they're thinking about going over to Lake Okeechobee. This might help them, kind of put them on the pattern, and kind of shorten the learning curve for whatever they end up doing over there. But thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel, and until next time, thanks for watching and good fishing.